It is Wednesday. Traditionally, we film a little ahead of time, a day or two in advance, but this one's filmed in the morning, getting released in the afternoon. So this is a current, up to date. We're fresh off the brutal Dodgers Phillies game last night, depending on which side you're on. I am with the Sheffield Shuffler in the house today. Good to see you.
Happy to be here, Jake. It's a beautiful day here in New Jersey, outside of Philadelphia.
It is probably not quite as beautiful as here in Southern California, but we've already discussed that. So let's get a little intro here. Let's get some music playing. Let's get the Hold My Ball logo up. And then when we come back, let's talk Phillies, Dodgers, and the wild NL West.
Yeah.
Ooh, that sounded nice, huh? All right, man. I'm still reeling from the Dodger-Philly game last night, so why don't we just go straight to the whole NL first so I can collect my feelings and thoughts before we get into the Dodgers. I know we talked about this just for a split second, but what's going on in the NL West? What do you like? What do you see?
I saw last night, Diamondbacks walk it off. I think it was extra innings, if I'm not mistaken. Walk it off. They're a game and a half out of the last wild card spot with the Mets. And this is what I was talking to you about, is just kind of vibes, chemistry, playing with house money. How dangerous does that make a team? How much fun and loose are you playing with when you are fighting to get that last wild card spot? So that was exciting last night, and we were up late because it's a 10-10 start for Dodgers Phillies. My goodness, that is absurd. Obviously, Phillies locked up the division yesterday. They popping champagne, partying, smoking stogies. Thought for sure hangover game, right? It makes sense. Like, these guys are partying all night, celebrating. Not the case. They come back to win against the Dodgers again. Rafael Marchand, big game. Phillies come back to a win. It was pretty incredible. So the NL East locked up by the Phillies, but that last wild card spot between the Diamondbacks and the Mets are still hanging in there. Mets are hanging on by the skin of their teeth. So we'll see what happens.
I sure hope the Diamondbacks take that spot from them. I'd love nothing more than to see the Mets miss the playoffs. And I like the Mets, man. I just don't like Juan Soto. Really, it's as simple as that. I just don't like him.
It's a me guy.
Yeah, and as he is, and it just, I don't know. It is what it is. And part of it, I just do not believe he was anywhere near worth the money they paid him. I don't believe it. Ohtani, we've said this a million times. We're not going to harp on it, but he brings money in. He brings a shitload of money in. He's going to $700 million is going to be a drop in the bucket to the Dodgers after what they get out of him for 10 years. So he makes sense off the field. He clearly makes sense on the field. But if Ohtani didn't make that much sense off the field, he's not worth $70 million a year as a player. I don't think any of them are when it comes to just production. You can't do it. What do you get? You get 4 at-bats. You get your ace that you're paying all this money to in the World Series. He goes 1 game, possibly 2. You got to win another 5. You got to get another 5 games in there with your other guys. It's like no one man can do it in baseball. So to see the Ohtani, I think if Ohtani doesn't sign that, I think Soto looks a little more like Trout's contract. Big, but reasonably big. So anyways, I'd like to see the Mets lose. As far as the vibes go, here's why I'm putting, if I had to, how many games are left? 14,
today's
13, 12, 10?
Yeah.
A couple weeks. So if I got 14 games and one team has ridiculous expectations, you brought this up, playing on house money, and another team in the Diamondbacks is playing on house money. They kind of sold at the break, and they still are here. So truly, one team has the pressure of, you better get into that last wild card spot with this payroll and this team, and the other team's like, man, we weren't even supposed to be here. The vibes of that team are like, yeah, let's go get this thing done, versus the vibes of the Mets are like, shit, we got to get this done. I'm riding the Diamondbacks for this, and I hope they squeeze in there. And we talked about this too. Do you want the first round bye, or do you want to roll in with the vibes of getting in the wild card when you didn't think you might, and then winning that game. And then the vibes for those teams are completely different. We took a quick look at it. 8-6 over the past 4 years in the divisional series. Teams that win the wild card are 8-6 in those series. So that's about a 60% win percentage. Does it do you harm to take that 5 to 7 day break of not playing when you're good? And even somebody like the Phillies who, or any team that's locked it up already, they got home field in the divisional series, they're not going to play a meaningful game until that game.
Yeah, I mean, that's a hill that I'm going to die on, is saying if I'm playing my best baseball, I want to be playing every day. I don't want time off. I want my hitters in the box working. Now's the time to push, right? Once it hits October, I mean, pitch count out the window. You're riding your horses. You're getting, I mean, it's all gas, no brakes, right? So I want to be playing every day. And as we can tell statistically, there is no advantage to have that time off and rest and hang out. You know, it's essentially an all-star break. And we seen what the numbers look like, guys coming back after an all-star break, drastically different. So yes, I want to be riding every day in the box with my boys, keeping the chemistry, keeping the vibes, because I talked about this before. It's something you can't quantify. You can't quantify vibes and chemistry. And we've seen it. We can see the Mets chemistry. We look at them. It's not good. Alvarez got plunked yesterday, broke his elbow, broke his hand. You guys, falling apart, and they're up in the game. Morale very low. We look at a team like the Diamondbacks that walk it off, vibes high. So that is a very real thing. I believe in it. I believe in destiny. I believe in vibes, all that kind of positive energy in our universe. That is a real thing that we can't physically see or touch, but gosh darn it, do I believe in it.
I do too, man. I think anybody that's played baseball, and it doesn't even have to be at a high level, it just has to be at a level to where it was real. Maybe let's call it high school, right? High school, call it even whatever, freshman, JV, varsity, and beyond. If you've played to your senior year in high school, there's a high likelihood you've been on a team that was good and probably didn't have great vibes, and you underachieved, and you had a team that was probably okay with great vibes and probably overachieved. It just is the way it goes. It's the most contagious sport in the world, if you ask me. One guy hits, we all hit. One guy slumps, we all might slump. It's just such a look at the. We'll get to this, but I guess we can go right to it. Look at the Dodgers bullpen. They have one of the better bullpens in the league, and they can't get anybody out. They can't get anybody out. You think those guys are coming in like, yeah, time to go? Or are they like, fuck, we got to be good today, boys. Like, it's a whole different vibe. And look at their offense. Their offense had a horrible vibe for 3 months. Now they look good. The offense looks good. They look like they're having fun. They're swinging the bat the way they can. So I think the Dodgers' problem right now is obviously it's the bullpen. The bullpen is clearly the problem. The Sticks have come around a little bit, and they got their team back. This is a team that 2 months ago didn't have Muncy, didn't have Kim, didn't have Edmund, didn't have Kike. It's a whole different team. And their pitching staff, the starters, obviously, I mean, you got Glasnow, Snell, Otani, Yamamoto, and what's his name, Sheehan. I mean, this is as good of a starting five as you're going to find. So it's weird to see clicking on all two of the three cylinders, and that third cylinder is just fucking you, dude.
I think a lot of that comes from like the top down, right? I just bring it back real quickly to the like the 2016 Cubs, right? Joe Madden, very out of the box type of manager, right? He brought in magicians, he brought in live animals to the clubhouse because he's a hippie, he's like a deadhead, So he's all about guys, good vibes today, don't suck. They had the shirts, don't suck. They like to have fun, keep things loose and fun as opposed to tight butthole right there. Like the Mets, we got the biggest payroll, guys. We got the biggest payroll in baseball. You guys better make the playoffs. Tight butthole, tight, as opposed to playing loosey-goosey where it's like vibes, feeling it, nice and loose. That, comes from the top down, and it's very interesting to see that type of mindset for these teams. And we've seen 2003, the two wildcard teams, the Rangers and the Diamondbacks, make the World Series. It's not something that you would think you usually think the favorites are going to make the World Series, but baseball is so many variables in baseball, which makes it so exciting and the most exciting postseason in all of sports.
Yeah, it truly is. It's I mean, I just think I look at this. I was live on Instagram last night watching that game, and I watch the comments and the people, and they go up 4-0. Obviously, things are looking really good, and then Ohtani goes 5 scoreless, 5 hitless through 5. He was disgusting, by the way. He was 102, and then he's breaking ball. Froze Schwarber. That's what everybody's saying. They're like, it's kind of wild to see like an MVP hit a 450-foot nuke and then turn around and strike out the other guy that's chasing him for the MVP. It's like crazy. It really was kind of a little bit of a, because I'm not like huge on that. I'm like, yeah, it's, if you let a lot of these guys be athletes, a lot of these hitters could probably hit if they continued to hit a little bit. Not like Ohtani, but they could hit. So I'm like, yeah, I think it's cool. I think it's crazy, but it is what it is. He pitches and he hits. But to watch him do that, you're like, he's disgusting on the mound, and he's the best hitter in baseball, probably next to Aaron Judge, who, whatever. I should say best offensive guy because he's got the wheels. He's a threat at the plate 24/7. Every at bat, doesn't matter. He is pegged a little bit for not being clutch. I think if you really go back and look, I think he's come up with some pretty clutch moments and really hasn't played any clutch games other than yeah. People talk about him not being clutch, but it's like the guy's played one meaningful postseason, and it was last year. He's never even been there with the. Well, maybe what did he go one time?
What about the World
Baseball
Classic?
Maybe
coming in to win for his country. I mean, he gave a whole pep talk. He's like, amazing. We cannot, look up to them. We are on their level. This is all translated and stuff. But dude, yeah, he's played in meaningful. You can't tell me he's not clutch. And also, you play on the Dodgers, dude. You shouldn't rely on him. Oh, he's got to be clutch. You pay that whole team to produce. So that's egregious on all counts.
Yeah, I think it's wild. It's one of those things. Another thing, everybody rips. I'm gonna do this for Roberts real quick because number one, I know him, I like him, but I always see Roberts this. Why is he putting the bullpen in? You got to leave Ohtani in. He's throwing a no-hitter. It's like, well, for what? He's at 60-something pitches. They don't give a shit about the regular season. They're trying to win a World Series. Ohtani's not going to go 9 innings, so what's the point in leaving him in for the no-hitter? And here's the thing with the bullpen. They love to just jump on Dave for being an idiot. Oh, freaking, here comes this guy. Here comes that guy. Last year in the playoffs, he was obviously masterful, and everybody gives him his flowers for a minute because he's managing a bullpen that is in shambles, and they freaking rode him to the World Series win. This year, it's like, what do you want him to do with a guy like Tanner Scott and Trinan and these guys? Do you want him to just stay away as much as possible so we can win these regular season games, and then the first time you're really pitching consecutively and consistently is in the playoffs? No, you have these guys. You're going to have them. You're going to need them. Throw them and hope they figure it out. That's what the regular season is for a team like the Dodgers. It's like, hey, bullpen, you guys got to figure this shit out. Keep going. Do we care that we lost? Absolutely. Would we rather lose this one and 6 more in brutal fashion if it prepares you for the postseason? Yeah. Get this shit out of the way. You big guys they're hanging 0-2 pitches. It's wild to see. The home run last night that I think put him up 6-5 was an 0-2 pitch for a guy that throws 102 miles an hour, and he fucking hangs an off speed pitch right over the middle of the plate to friggin' what's his name? Marsh. It's like that. He's the hottest hitter in baseball in the past 3 weeks. You don't have enough sense to go bury the shit in the dirt. It's 0-2. It doesn't. There's no command right now in the bullpen. And that's the problem. There's good stuff. There's just no command. You can't command.
It's damned if you do, damned if you don't, right? You use them. Why are we using him? This guy stinks. Then you don't use him. Why aren't we throwing him? And also, I need to see what you got as we're going into the postseason. So if I'm going to put you in this high leverage situation, are you going to rise to the occasion or are you going to crumble? Because Phillies know. Jordan Romano, we don't trust you, bro. And that's what it took. You need to give up 6 earned runs in the 8th inning because now we know, hey, you're not our guy. You're not coming with. Sorry. But now I know that I can't trust you in those situations. And that's what you got to feel out at this point, right? Can we trust you in the 8th inning with a 1-run lead? You're not, your shit's not sharp right now. Your rotation, whatever, you're hanging stuff. So that's, as much as you say you don't want to leave them out there to bleed to an extent, but at this period of time in the season, I need to know, are you one of our guys? Can we trust you? We either do or we don't.
Yep. You either do or you don't. And that's the thing. It's like you go through all this so that you can put them on a tier list, right? Okay, we get to playoffs. Here's where you're at. You're our first guy out of the pen because you've proven it over the past 2 months. You're our second. You guys down here that have struggled, fuck, we might use you less, but when we do, come on, baby, try to
we're going to use you for long relief, and maybe we're not going to use you in a high leverage situation. Maybe we got a 3-run lead, and I'll have you eat an inning and a half. These two guys, these are our high leverage guys, and that's what Dave's putting together right now. What does our team look like going into the postseason? Those are the decisions that he's making.
Yep, I think it's interesting to watch. I think the fans don't quite get it, and they're fans, and it's no different than New York, Rip and Boone. It's like you're the manager of a big organization like this. That's what comes with it, and it's. I will say this though. Look at this. This is actually crazy. Dave Roberts has 52 playoff wins. 52. That puts him 6th on the all-time list.
Mm-hmm.
Right? This is his 10th year. Actually, 9th or 10th. This is, I think, his 9th. Next year will be his 10th. He's on the list behind Joe Torre, Tony La Russa, Bobby Cox, Dusty Baker, and Bruce Bochy. Dave's got 52 playoff wins, 2 World Series. Bochy has 57 wins, so does Baker. Cox has 67, La Russa has 71, and Joe Torre has 84. So Dave is 32 playoff wins away from Joe Torre, which would put him at the top of the list. Joe Torre managed for how many years?
He also managed the Yankees in a very advantageous time, right? Dave Roberts with the Dodgers in a very advantageous time. Bobby Cox has a long tenure playing with a good Braves team. Bruce Bochy kind of like self-made almost, right? I mean, with those Giants teams.
Bochy, yes.
And then with the Rangers.
Yes.
So those were 2 teams that he managed that had a lot of success. So I think those.
Yep. Bochy, I think of all of them time-wise. I mean, Torre is the leader. This is crazy. Torre is the leader. He's 32 playoff wins above Roberts. He managed for 29 years. 3 decades. Dave is in his 9th year. And he's 30 games away in a third of the time. He's going to pass it in the next 3 seasons? 4? We'll give him 5 years. He'll be at 14. He'll be in half the time that Joe Torre managed, and he'll have passed him in playoff wins, which is crazy. And he's going to win another 2 or 3 over the next 10 years with Ohtani, because the Dodgers aren't going to waste Ohtani. As long as they have Ohtani, every single year they're going to do whatever it takes, whether it's a rental or whatever, to win a World Series with him, because you got Babe Ruth, you got the unicorn, you got the guy. They're not going to waste him. They will build around him every single year. I think you're going to see Ohtani and then just a revolving door with the Dodgers over the next 10 years of whoever's going to give us the best chance to win. Almost like the Padres have been doing.
I do agree with you to an extent, but also baseball has the most variables in any sport. So the favorite, as much as we want to say, I think it's easier for football or basketball. Basketball, you could say at the beginning of the season, those 2 teams are going to the finals every year. And I don't even watch basketball. Football, the Chiefs, the Eagles. Baseball is a little different. So as much as you would like to count your World Series in the next 5 years, let's save this for the next 5 years and see exactly what's coming up to. You know what I'm saying? All I'm saying,
Hey, listen, I'm the king of what you just said, and I agree wholeheartedly. I also I also have watched the Dodgers be in by their standards of the team they have, which they haven't even had this team. They've been injured all year, but of their standards, played god awful baseball, and they're approaching 90 wins, and they're gonna. And they're healthy, and they're still the favorite in the betting lines to win the World Series because everybody knows the team they've built is pretty disgusting. And if they're healthy, it doesn't matter if they've been playing together for 3 months or 2 months or 3 days. That team healthy is going to be as good as anybody. And I think I think they'll do that every year is what I'm saying. So when I say I'm going to give them at least 2 in the next 10 years. And I would say that confidently, also knowing it is baseball and it is anybody's game. And, the Diamondbacks were there in the World Series a couple of years ago. And before the season, they were ranked 27th most likely to make it to win the World Series. Like they weren't. There's 3 teams with a lower shot at making it to the World Series than them, and they still made it. So that's why
On the
baseball's the best.
contrary,
One man.
I would like to give the Phillies some props when you talk about being injured and not winning games. Phillies lost Bryce Harper for some time, lost Trey Turner, lost Alec Boehm. Since Trey Turner and Alec Boehm have been on the IL, I think they're 8-1. Everybody's stepping up. You're getting contributions everywhere. So just as a fan of the Phillies, that is very cool to see. You lost Wheeler. You lost your freaking ace. Forgot to mention that. You're still winning. You're still comeback wins against a World Series favorite. So I'm just saying that I believe is even more, because it's easy to say, we're injured, we suck. That's normal. That's what should happen. But when you're injured and you're still winning, it makes you feel special. That's all I'm saying.
It does make you feel good. I will say this with the Phillies: if it's not the Dodgers, I want it to be the Phillies. I love the Phillies. I think I've been a fan of Bryce Harper from the minute he got into the league till today. I think he's been the same exact guy. He came in and people literally hated him because he hustled. Like he stole home and it pissed people off. It's like I'm a Bryce Harper fan forever, will be. Schwarber's probably my favorite player. I've lucky enough to talk to Stott a little bit. Amazing dude. Love that guy. Trey Turner's one of my favorite players also. This whole team, I would love Brandon Marsh. I got a couple buddies who know him. They say he's the fucking man. Like this is the team. When you talk vibes, this is the vibes. And Bader addition is huge. I said it right when he came over, and not that I knew I was going to be right, but I thought he just looks like he is supposed to be there. When I look at Schwarber, Harper, Marsh, I go, Bader fits right in. Jacked, crop top, flying around center field. Like this is the guy. Electric personality. I do like the Phillies. I would like to see them win.
And
I got to shout out
right?
Kemp.
Bryson, Harrison, Bryce.
Yeah. Gotta have it. Hey, let me shout out Otto Kemp here because I love this dude. 26 years old, 5'11", $185, no offers anywhere out of high school. Walk on at a D2 right here by me, Point Loma Nazarene. If you don't know that field, look it up. Unbelievable. You literally hit a jack to left field. It goes into the ocean. It's awesome. But this dude, 26 years old, undrafted, blah, 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 been with the Phillies for 3-4 years in their system, comes up and he's swinging the bat. He's hitting 244. He's got 6 jacks. He's had 176 at bats, 23. I like this guy a lot. I'm really happy to see him doing what he's doing. I think he's playing third base or something, but yeah, first base, little first, third. I don't know what he does, but I just love this guy, man. I think
he played a lot of third and made a lot of good defensive plays too. Yeah. I think that's something that goes under the radar because a lot of people just look at what you're doing at the plate, but defensively, man, I mean, that's half of the game. So making a lot of good plays at third base as well. Anybody likes a good underdog story, right?
Yeah, and that's another thing to your point. That game last night, the Phillies injured, missing guys. They had 9 batters that hit all game, sent 9 guys to the plate, 9 guys only. Dodgers sent 12. It's like If you don't need extra guys, perfect. If we got 9 guys we love, ride them, let them go. And sure enough, they did their thing. And I think they were hungover, but I think I didn't take into account what kind of men they were and that their hangover would only last through like the
Yeah,
4th
but I mean,
inning.
to be sober by 7 o'clock really isn't that impressive, dude. I mean, I've been hammered, drunk, and gotten to work at 6 a.m. So, I mean, let's be real. And they're like 20 something years
is your
old.
work in Dodger Stadium turning around 100
I
mile
wish,
an hour
bro.
fastball?
I wish. No, I was slinging IT technology. But you know,
So that's sobering up for that. It's a little different than sobering up for the
sure,
98
it's
mile an
just
hour
a
cutter.
7 o'clock game. It's like, all right, we get it, dude. They have the most technology. They got
And
drinks and deflushers and detox stuff.
and they didn't get going, till like 8:45 either. So maybe really just the 6th inning. Really, maybe it isn't that impressive. You're right.
Side note: Cubs solidify a playoff spot today with a win against the Pirates. They're starting soon. Matt Boyd's on the bump.
So do they solidify a win, a spot with any win then?
I saw the tweet today.
Moving forward,
a win today would solidify. I don't know if there was any. The Cubs can stamp their ticket to the postseason with a win today. That was just the headline. So,
okay. Man, what a fall off, huh?
For who?
What a fall off from the spotlight for the Cubs, right? They couldn't lose a game in the first half. PCA's, you can't. He's the new Ohtani. You can't open MLB without seeing 8 posts, and then all of a sudden, radio silence. How many home runs does he have in the second half?
Far few, because he was hurt too.
Yeah, it's just a crazy thing. I don't think. Let's finish with this. Let's go World Series prediction right here, right now, and then we'll circle back once playoffs start. My preseason World Series prediction was Dodgers winning 4-1 over the fucking Orioles, and they fired their coach a month into the season, so that they really took a turn for me immediately. I did like them though. I thought they were going to be all right, but okay, so I'll let you go first. Let's do a World Series prediction.
Obviously, coming out of the NL, the Phillies. That's a biased opinion, backed with statistics as well. So I want to see them, and I believe they will get back to the World Series. Who they will face in the AL, I believe the Houston Astros probably have the strongest team, in my opinion. And we talked about this, about overcoming adversity. They lost Ronel Blanco. They lost, Aaron Getty got into an accident in his bathtub or the weight room. We talked about it on our previous podcast, most strikeouts in baseball. They have very good pitching. They are inevitable every season. So maybe we see a 2002 rematch in the Phillies and the Astros revenge series. Yordan Alvarez still up in the air. I know he rolled his ankle and was pretty serious. I don't know if the Tigers can really make any noise. That wild card is Seattle-Boston. I think the Tigers take them. Yankees, I don't even know if the Yankees beat the Astros in a series. I have zero faith in the Yankees, I'll be honest with you. And then the Blue Jays, I haven't watched too much of them, but I would like to see a 2002 rematch. Phillies, Astros, clip it up.
Wouldn't mind seeing that. That'd be wild if the Astros get in there. That would
They're
be
5
wild.
seed right now.
I'm gonna go. I am going to, for the storyline, I'm actually going to take the Yankees here, which is wild. I'm going to take the Yankees losing in the World Series to the Brewers. I think the Brewers are going to get it done. They're one of the few teams, only because I take the Yankees because I don't believe in the AL this year, just like I didn't believe in them last year.
The winner comes out of the NL, right?
You could throw, I think so. You could throw all, unless the AL, unless the Mariners get there, because if the Mariners get there, that's a different team. If they make it to the World Series, that's just a hot team, and good luck to anybody who has to play them if they make it that far. But I think you could take all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these AL teams, throw them in a hat, and have the same odds pulling anybody out as a winner. But on the NL, the reason I like the Brewers is, number one, if it's as it sits right now, they would go winner of the Padres and Cubs. I think they're going to roll through that series. Then they get Philly and LA or New York Mets if the Mets stay in there. Otherwise, it'd be the Diamondbacks. I think Philly's going to get through there. And I just think this matchup can go either way because they both play a good brand of baseball. I just think the Brewers are the one team that changes nothing in the playoffs. They've been playing the same baseball all year. It's small ball, it's speed, it's pitching, it's putting the ball in play, it's the occasional pop, it's some veterans with some young guys. They change nothing when they get into the playoffs. It's stolen bases, it's pressure. A lot of teams change in the playoffs. A-Rod's famous for saying it. You can't start bunting in October. You have to start bunting 2 months earlier, 3 months earlier, get ready to play that kind of baseball. The Brewers don't have to change anything. And I think that puts them, for me, in the World Series and winning it, because I don't think anybody from the AL is going to come out this year.
Of course, if the Dodgers don't, you're saying, because you already counted, I think, 5 World Series in the next 5 or 6 years. So just statistically, they would have to be this year, right?
That's just barring some freak ultra universe, other universe that the Dodgers don't make it. I don't want to be
sure.
I don't want to say the obvious. So
no, but honestly, Jake, I think that is the smartest baseball prediction. If you're looking at a strictly baseball brand of baseball, as you say, I think a smart baseball fan, removing all biases as far as value goes, I would have to, begrudgingly agree with you that I think that's a phenomenal pick, honestly.
Yeah. And I really like Pat Murphy. I think he's just like you said earlier with Joe Madden. I think Murphy, not the same guy, but the right leader for this group. There's a few veterans. There's some young guys, just like Madden had, and there's more than one way to skin the cat. And I think Murphy is skinning the cat the right way with these Brewers. I would really like to see them get it done. And for the belief, man, nobody believes in them. These are teams, them and the Blue Jays. Nobody believes in them until they win a World Series. You could be 110 win team and they're still going to be 5th on the betting odds to win the World Series. Until you win it, can't get it. So, all right, I like this. Good show. I love throwing a couple things out there. I love discussing what's happening and discussing what might happen. Gives us something to follow up on immediately and something to watch.
Jake, last thing real quick, underrated stadium, the Brewers Stadium. It used to be Miller Park. Now it's like America Family, whatever. But if you've never been there, underrated stadium. It's like a warehouse. It's huge, easy in, easy out, retractable dome. It's a very cool warehouse looking feel. So just need people to know that it is a underrated stadium. Not saying it's the greatest, but very underrated.
Also incredibly underrated logo because most people don't know it's an M and a B on that glove, which once you know that, you're like, damn, that's pretty darn good. I was also wearing a Brewers hat when I met my wife for the first time, so holds a little something near and dear to me, you know? Maybe this is the year they win it all. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's a show. Thanks for hanging with us, Sheffield. Thanks for coming on. We will likely make this a Wednesday or Friday episode every week with you. So appreciate you guys tuning in. Appreciate your time, your expertise, and your insight. A little bias, a little unbiased, a little bit of both. The world needs that, dude. You know what I'm saying?
I just call it truth. You call it whatever you want.
I'll call it biased truth. All right, guys, start the music. See us out of here. Maybe blur us out, make us look cool. I don't know. You guys have a great day.